Hello. If we haven't met before, my name is Marc with a C. I wear skull caps in July when my hair won't cooperate, and I write songs about stuff, and I've been making lo-fi records for about 15 years. I'm also an avid record collector, and I guess that one could describe me as having a deep love for all manners in which physical media can be consumed. I like checking out new things, so when I heard about a service called VNYL, I was intrigued by their business model. They were to be the Netflix of records. They'd send you 3 records, you'd send back the ones that you didn't like, they'd hook you up with new ones, etc., so on and so on. I backed that Kickstarter at $25, meaning that I would get up to 3 LPs per month for 3 months. They'd curate what they sent you by scanning your Last FM and your Discogs pages, and they'd take your vibe into account. Now, the vibe could be work, or dinner party, or pancake eating contest. It was, really a smorgasbord of things that one doesn't normally think about, I guess, when picking out records, but your mileage may vary. Anything under the sun. Seemed like a harmless and inexpensive investment of curiosity money, right? Well, the website showed pictures of some records that one might receive, like the new albums by Jenny Lewis or Taylor Swift. When I got my first shipment, it came with a piece of paper that said, "Keep them." The vibe was work, and here's what I received. The J. Geils Band's Freeze Frame, Al Stewart's Year of the Cat, and a record by the rock band Triumph. I can't show you the Triumph record because I gave it to a friend of mine who is a fan of that group. Now, you'll notice that there are price tags on these. For example, Al Stewart's Year of the Cat has a price tag of $16. And the J. Geils Band's Freeze Frame, $12. I don't remember what they claimed that Never Surrender by Triumph was worth, but it was somewhere in that neighborhood. And anybody who's dug through Dollar Bin, well, you know that these aren't worth that amount of money, especially in this condition, because I don't know if you can see this on camera, but this one is actually kind of water damaged and gross, like it's got these brown stains all over it. So I guess that's what devalues this normally dollar record to being worth only $12? I don't know. Suspicious to me, but I couldn't send these back, and I didn't really want them. I do like the song Centerfold by J. Geils Band, but that was one song out of an entire package of 3 records. And after a well-done article on Stereo Gum appeared, it became clear that they'd basically pulled a bait and switch. You see, renting records out is illegal, so they're sending you crap records that you can find for 50 cents at Goodwill or less, all the while acting like nothing had changed on their website. They just changed their business model and didn't really wag it in your face as though you had already paid for a different service that they no longer offered. And besides, you got to keep them, so where's the harm, right? Now, after this shipment, I got emails asking me to fill out my vinyl profile, that's VNYL, of course, if you're just keeping score, so that I may receive better picks. And that's a good thing, because I'd emailed the founder, Nick Alt. At first, he was apologetic when I called him out on the BS. He said, yada, 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 we hate to disappoint our customers. And when I offered him some advice, and even to send him some records of my own so that there might be some new stock sent out to people that they didn't recognize, not really as a promotional vehicle, but more, oh cool, I've never heard of this, and it's sealed. Well, the emails stopped completely. I'm sure that this has more to do with him just being the aura that is Nick Alt, rather than shoddy customer service, right? So I filled out my profile, pointing out that they could leave the Jimmy Buffett and Pablo Cruz records behind. I gave them links to my Discogs and Rate Your Music profiles to show that this wasn't necessarily my first rodeo with records. I placed my order for the second shipment, and I waited. Well, the waiting got tiresome, so I logged back into said profile and couldn't help but notice that it was completely blank and that no order had been placed. I don't know how that happened, but it certainly wasn't my fault. I clicked save, I read it a few times, I know it was there, but their server went, not there anymore. And being a glutton for punishment, I also added on a bonus record when I reordered my second shipment. It was the latest LP by a group named Always that I'd been meaning to check out. The order remained in limbo for a number of weeks, though the profile stayed active this time. Eventually, I got sick of waiting, and I tried to leave some comments on the VNYL Facebook page. But they seem to have someone on staff 24/7 that deletes every single disparaging comment left about them. Now, I don't encourage that you go and try it, but I can pretty much assure you of the outcome if you were to go and do that. So instead, I took to the Marc with C Facebook page and I told my story. I told the tales on the Steve Hoffman message board. I even tried contacting VNYL through a series of tweets, but nothing happened to resolve just sending me my order until I reported them to the Better Business Bureau. You see, though my second of 3 shipments hadn't been mailed, I got an email telling me that my trial membership was ending. I wasn't even close to okay with that. 10 minutes after I made it publicly clear that I'd reported them to the Better Business Bureau, my phone rang, and someone named Kat from VNYL called and immediately tried to resolve things. To me, it smacked of damage control, but at this point, I was just sort of in shock that anyone at all had responded, considering my prior experiences. Looked like they were just going to take the money and run, but someone was actually calling. Well, this became a series of emails where Kat asked me to place my 3rd and final order because they didn't have enough stock to fill the second vibe that I'd chosen, but more on that later. They rushed me a box of my 3rd order based on the vibe Dinner Party, and these were the 3 albums that I'd received. Now, mind you, 2 of them have been opened since, so, they're not sealed, but they were sealed when I received them. One was this record here by Wrong Child. It was alright. Sealed reissue of Gang of Four's first album, Entertainment, and that's a very cool record, which I did not have, so I was happy to have it. And this here sealed copy of a reissue of the first Violent Femmes LP. I haven't opened it yet because, well, if you've been alive for 37 years, you know every word to every song on this record, and you really don't have a need to ever play it again, unless you're playing it for someone else who has never heard it. But it's still a good record, and I thought it was worth the money, and I was happy to get it. These were all sealed records. Very different from the first shipment, and actually some quality titles. And I wasn't sure if I'd been sent this box because VNYL knew that I'd been very public about my shipments. And being able to simply retweet, OMG, I got a Gang of Four record, hashtag amazeballs, would look like great press for them. So either way, I did get some cool records, and I was looking forward to getting my 3rd shipment because, well, this wasn't the service I signed up for, and I just sort of wanted it over and done with. Well, unfortunately, it took the same list of events to actually get the last shipment sent to me. An ignored email, an update to my Better Business Bureau complaint, and another series of tweets calling them out. Now, you gotta understand that I don't really get my jollies off on this type of action. I prefer that I order something, and you send me what I pay for, and that's the end of the transaction. I think it should be that way. This is not my cup of tea, right? I don't chronicle everything I buy on the internet. I think that if you were to take a look here at my YouTube channel, you would see that this is basically the first time I've ever done a vlog about a business. So they really had worked my last nerve on this situation. Well, finally today, after a series of unfortunate things, I received, part of my 2nd order, which I'm receiving final. Final order. Yeah. 2nd order, but I'm receiving it last. It's part of the order. The vibe was Between the Sheets, because, well, who isn't curious about what vinyl would deem as good baby-making music, right? And that's what we're going to unbox today. Now, keep in mind, I still haven't received the record by Always that I ordered along with the 2nd one, and I know this because I was sent 2 different tracking orders. Now, mind you, that order was sent out, I got the email letting me know that this shipment was on the way to me something like 10 minutes after I'd updated the Better Business Bureau complaint. And I got 2 tracking numbers immediately, and today I received this box that has the sticker Between the Sheets. So I have to assume this is not the Always record, and this is actually my new shipment from VNYL. It says right here, Tear Me a River. It's an unboxing, but that's kind of an unfair thing to call this video because, well, yeah, I am going to unbox it, but I would prefer that you just be aware of what you're getting into with the company. So you're going to find out as soon as I do what this is. This is very hard to do at this angle. I actually don't recommend that you do an unboxing video. Okay, so here's what we have. First, there's a sticky piece of paper that says, well, I'm going to try to read. What's up, Marc with a C? Took a gander through your survey responses, links, and especially your impressive Discogs collection. Appreciate you providing those. I know you were unhappy with your first order. Hoping their next records for your Between the Sheets shipment are more to your liking. For starters, sending a personal favorite, C Mystery. You know what? He's going to just spoil what's in the package, so I'm not going to read that to you. But either way, if you want to, here, freeze frame this video. Get it? Freeze frame. And just read it yourself. Okay. The first one is Yacht. C Mystery Lights. That's cool. I like Yacht. I've heard a couple of tracks. Good time music. Enjoy it. And I don't have that record, so that's good. We have here King Cruel. I don't know anything about King Cruel. That's good times because I like discovering music that I've never heard before. And finally, we have, hey, Fits in the Tantrums. I have heard Fits in the Tantrums. I am aware of Fits in the Tantrums, but to my knowledge, I've never heard a full Fits in the Tantrums song. So that is new stuff for me. And guess what? I actually did receive the Always record, so if nothing else, I know that there's a group that I was at least curious to hear. Now mind you, you probably will not receive the Always record because this is something that I paid for separately. I don't know that they're actually including it in their shipments. So this time, this is kind of closer to what I'd expected. I don't know that any of it is actually baby making music, as I haven't heard the records, and we'll see if it sparks lust in myself or my wife. Jury's out on that one, but in summation, the initial idea of VNYL was a good one. People who are interested in records can try out titles that they might not have otherwise heard, and that's helpful for people that may not live near a cool place for crate digging. But right now, it's a crapshoot. You can send them money, and maybe, just maybe, if you bother them enough, you'll get something back. And if things go really well, you might get something you like. But is it worth the now $36 a month? I don't think the money spent is comparable to the hassle that you may have to go through to get what you've actually paid for. And as we've seen, what they promise is always, always subject to change. If I could offer any advice to VNYL, it'd be to move the folks that concentrate on damage control and PR to actually putting records in boxes. And then you'd be on the way to a service that could be very valuable to curious newcomers to vinyl who don't have the options that people who live in maybe metropolitan areas do. Maybe they don't get to dig for records and just go, that's cool cover art, I want to take that home, or just blindly take the chances. You are offering a service to people who maybe live on the outskirts of some farm town and don't have a way to try out new LPs. You could be very valuable. In the meantime, I wouldn't really recommend giving VNYL any money unless you are into gambling and you like records as the currency. Well, thanks for watching. I've been Marc with a C, and I probably will be for quite some time. Take care.